Okay, thank you for watching the follow-up video to the medical condition record presentation on how to utilize the medical condition record. I'm going to go along the presentation and go through exactly what I explained, and hopefully this will help you follow along if you have any questions. It's kind of a secondary resource. So I'm kind of just going to do what I talked about. So first thing we talked about doing is creating an MCR code in treatment. So I'll go to TX, Miscellaneous and Admin. I create a code MCR, Medical Condition Record, Action Code W. The W action code will allow an auto prompt for the vitals and the MCR to pop up when you enter that code. So you can see that. Action Code W, auto prompt for vital signs. Code MCR, description, medical condition record. That's what it should look like. So when you come into here and put in the MCR code, it automatically pops up your medical condition record. So that's what we want. The reason I did it through an MCR code and not an exam code is because if your doctor decides to change that exam code later on, you'll lose your medical condition record. So he has the opportunity, he or she can change the exam that they want without losing your medical condition record. So that's why we're doing this code. Second part of the presentation was talking about setting up the objective section, which is all the abnormality codes and body subsystem codes. So I'll show you how to do that. You go to Work With, System Tables, and here's your abnormalities table. So you click on Abnormalities table, you see mine is already set up. You'd hit the plus sign to add a new one, make your code something simple, your abnormality on whatever body part it is, and then normal, we put appears normal. So here's mine. You got coat, eye, ear, nose. So those are simple codes. Coat for coat and skin appears normal. The only one I have a little different is diet, and I just put appears adequate. So my abnormality is diet with my code diet. So pretty simple. So you go through and set up as many as you want. Second step is creating the subsystems for these. So all the abnormalities for each one of these categories here. So all the abnormalities that you want for a coat and skin, you'll set up through here in the body subsystems table. So I'll show you that. Here's my list. I have 95. Your first one, always 1 in findings. So if you add a new one, your very first one's going to be code 1, description findings. And I'll explain why that's important later on. So all your codes are going to be numbered. It makes it much easier to work with. And then I kind of went section by section. So I'll start with abnormality, coat, and skin. I'll go to my body subsystems, and then I'll create a list of all the ones I want for coat and skin. So I kind of do it in order. So I'll know when I link the two that I'll have 1 through 13 for my coat and skin. And if it's eyes, and I could have 1, which is my findings, because that's going to be in every single code. And then I can have 22 through 30. So then when I link them, I know that number range, and it makes it much, much easier later on. So once you get your entire list down for all your abnormalities, you want a list for each one of these, so you'll have a lot. Once you get them all done, you're going to want to link them. So to link them, it's Work With, back to the system tables, use your abnormality table. So I want to link all the codes that I had for coat and skin. So I'll highlight coat and skin, right click on it, hit subsystems. And you can see all my abnormalities are in here. So I have 1 findings, that's the first one. Then 2 through 13 are in here. To add them in, you just right click, new, type in the code. So since I have 95 codes, if I want to add code 45 to it, Coded 45 is muscle loss and swelling. That's for a different subsystem. That's for a different abnormality, but that's just showing you how to do it. If I wanted to add code 50, that was too long. So you can see why it's important to do them in sections. So I'll know that 2 through 13 belongs to this code. So I'll just go 2, hit done. 3, hit done. 4, hit done. So I can get them done much quicker. It makes it much easier that way. And you can see every single abnormality code has findings in it. So this one is 1 with 65 through 94. Looks like I added a new one later on. Heart 1, then 52, 53, 54. So 1 is going to be in every single one of these. That's important. So once you get that all done, all your sub-body systems table linked into your abnormalities table, now your objective section for the report card is done. So let me show you what that will look like. Pull up your medical condition report. So all those abnormalities are now listed here. So I always hit check all, and then the normal will appear if you check all. And then if one of them, if your doctor finds something wrong with any of the categories, you just click it, and then all those subcategories will show up. So you see findings is there first. If you find something, always click findings, and then whatever he found. Lungs, findings, and then whatever the doctor found. Findings, whatever the doctor found. Okay? So that makes it very easy to fill out the objective section of your report card if you do this. Now, next step is setting up the report card so the client has something nice to take home. So the reason that the findings is so important is because of the report card. Let me show up the report card here. So in the report card, you'll see that it says eyes, findings, and then it lists what you found. Mouth, teeth, and gums, findings, what you found. All the others will say appears normal because we didn't check it, or we didn't uncheck it, and we didn't find anything. If you don't use the findings thing, what's going to happen is your first abnormality, tartar here, will say mouth, teeth, and gums, tartar, and then underneath will say gingivitis, loose, and broken teeth. Here would say inflamed right, and then ulcer left will be underneath. By using the findings, it just looks nicer, it looks cleaner, so that's why we do it. So now you need to set up your report card so it talks with this section. So let me pull up the report card here. So here's the coded report card. Here's what you'll need to do. You'll list your abnormalities, so I have all of them listed here under examination results and physical examination, coat and skin, eyes, ears, and so on. So this right here is going to be used for every single one of them. It's going to be bracketed with SOAP, dash abnormality, dash whatever the code is. So this is coat. SOAP, abnormality, eye. SOAP, dash abnormality, dash ear. So whatever the code is what you're going to use. These codes right here that you created, those have to be in there. That way it talks to it and links it to the medical condition record. Okay. The second set of coding you need is this code, exactly the way it's typed. Every single one of them will be exactly the same. You don't change it. Subsystem dash checked. So anytime you check something in this category, those checked items will appear in the list. So every single one will look like this. So your completed one will look something along the lines of this. It'll be a little different based on how you want to customize it. It's completely customizable, so it's up to you and what you want to put in there. So as long as these code words are used, or these merge words, you'll do fine. Okay. So now that you have your report card set up, your medical condition record for the objective section is done. So we're on to the next section, which was we created a new diagnostics code. In diagnostics, we created the annual care list or preventative care list. It depends on what you want to use. We don't do preventive care, so I did this for annual care. And what it does is it makes the MCR much quicker when adding charges for an annual. Since annuals are what we do the most of, it's a good idea to do this. Or if you have any other type of service that you do that has the same list of charges every time, this would be good to do. So what we did was we did the asterisk annual care and made a new category. Right click new, make a new category. We use the asterisk because no matter what you name it, preventative or annual, if it has an asterisk, it'll go to the top, and we want it to be at the top. So then I created, using the plus sign, new diagnosis. I made annual care visit canine adult, annual care senior, annual care puppy, and I did the same for the felines. Use action code Q because Q says don't post to accounting, so it won't post it. Okay? So it was really simple to do that. Now the tricky part is linking the treatment protocol. So what you do is you highlight your new code, right click treatment protocol, and you can see all the charges that I would do for a normal annual are in here. I have a heartworm, fecal, rabies, DALPP vaccine, the Bordetella vaccine. We give away lean treats on each annual appointment. So we have the lean treat charge and then the lean treat discount, so they get it for free, and then the annual examination charge. So what you do is you right click in here, hit new. Sorry, that's not right. Right click in here and hit choose treatments, and then you can go through and find your codes that you want for whatever. So whatever you click on will choose in here will be dropped in the selected area, and then you'd hit done, and then that would add it. So that's what I did. I right clicked, choose treatment, went in and picked all these treatments, and if you have items that are giveaways like this, it will be right click, choose items. It'll be in your items list. But I did that for every single one of these. And you see my puppies, a little different. My treatment protocol list, slightly different. Yours will be too. So everybody does things a little differently. So whatever you do, put it in here. Now I'll show you, after you get all this done, how this is useful. So in your medical condition record, in the assessment area, this is where you can choose your diagnosis. So you right click, choose diagnosis. When you do that, the first thing that pops up is your annual care because we put that asterisk there. Choose a canine adult visit. Hit done. Pops in here. You can highlight it, right click, accept protocol. Drops all those charges into my plan, so I don't have to fill out my plan section. And then in the plan section, you can just highlight them all, 8 rows selected, right click, post. And it will prompt you to do everything you do if you did it in the history. And all those charges get dropped in your history for invoicing. So it's real quick and easy to use with your medical condition record. Last part we did was setting up glossary words. So to set up your glossary words, you go to work with, glossary, and I have a category in here already called MCR. If you want to add a new category, highlight category is new, you name it, category none, area for this is medical condition. So that's what my MCR one is. So once you have that created, you'll right click on the MCR code, hit new, and then you'll have these to set up: subjective, objective, assessment, plan, and client instructions. So you want to add these 5. That way they work with your medical condition record. So as you can see in this one, objective, name is objective, category MCR, which is here, and then my area is SOAP objective. Client instructions, MCR, SOAP, client instructions. So you want to make sure it's SOAP and whatever the one that you're working with. Okay? So I've made a couple of different ones. With my client instructions one, I've created a code annual. And I'll click on it. Code is annual, description whatever you want it to be. I put annual general, and category is client instructions. What I wrote in here was a phrase that I can quickly post to the client instructions area on an annual visit. I want it to say, carrot looks great. Thank you for choosing Devonshire. So the carrot is important because when I put it in there, in my client instructions on the medical condition record, I can hit F12, it goes directly to the carrot and replaces it, and then I can just type in the name of the dog that we're seeing that day. For the subjective section, I made one called tech. It's a nice simple code because my techs are putting this in. And it's a list of questions that we want them to ask in the exam room before the doctor comes in the room. So this will remind them what to ask. Then they can just hit F12, it'll go here, they can type it. F12, it'll go here, they can type it, and so on. So it makes it quick and easy. So I'll show you how to use that. So when you add these codes in, make it really simple code, because the code is what you're going to be typing. You don't want something really weird and not easy to remember. So tech, annual, whatever you want it to be. It can even be one letter. So I'll show you how that works within the MCR. Okay, so in the subjective section, the code is tech. That's what we made. So you type it, hit shift, spacebar. There's my list of questions. I hit F12, it goes directly to that carrot. I'll type whatever it is, hit F12 again, and go to the next carrot. Okay, and then client instructions, I made one. If you remember, it was annual. Hit shift, spacebar, F12. My dog's name is Dakota, so if it was on Dakota, I type Dakota. It looks great. Thank you for choosing Devonshire. Saves you on typing real quick and easy. So something like this, the little one-liner, it's not as useful. But if you have a big list of questions, or you have a big statement or a mission statement you want to put in, whatever you want to add, if it's lengthy, it's very beneficial. So hopefully this helps you follow along with the presentation I gave and answers any questions you might have. If you have any more, feel free to call me at Devonshire. I'll be glad to help you out. So thank you for watching. Have a great day.